Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Peterborough just got a whole lot tastier. Five Lads Flame Grilled Peri Peri Chicken is now open. Bring your family and friends to Peterborough's first HMC meat-selling restaurant. We are experts in grilled chicken, lamb chops and gourmet lamb and beef burgers. Our healthy options include fresh salads and fresh grilled vegetables. Fresh, clean and healthy grilled food with 4 different flavours. Lemon and herb, medium, hot and extra hot. 5-star hygiene rating. Eat in, order and collect or order for delivery on Deliveroo. Follow 5 Lads Peterborough on Facebook and Instagram 5 Lads. 15 Cowgate, Peterborough, PE1 1LZ. Call 01733 56 22 87. Open 7 days a week, 12 to 11 p.m.
Almarad Tiles. With over 70 stores nationwide, we are now open in Peterborough. Up to 50% discount offers now on. Largest selection of tiles. Full bathroom suites from only £189. Paint, LED lighting, laminate flooring from only £7.99. Over 1,000 designs of wallpaper in stock. We have everything you need. Come and visit us at 193 Fengate, Peterborough, PE1 5BH, or call us on 01733 34 58 47. Almarad Tiles, now open.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident specialists. Start your successful claim today.
There's a million choices available for dining out in Leeds.
But if you want something special, there's only one name to remember.
Mumtaz Leeds.
Relax in our newly refurbished Riverside restaurant.
Enjoy exquisite home cooking from our brand new menu. Upgrade to the Mumtaz Leeds experience.
And the price? Well, we're better value than ever before.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds, LS10 1PJ. Call 0113 242 4211.
Free car parking available.
بسم الله قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الدعاء مخ الإبادة. The supplication is the essence of worship.
Reach out for you to hold my hand. The rain may...
Good evening, everybody. This is Sukhi Wahiwala, your host this evening, as always, on our amazing Salam Radio show, which is the Empower Hour. And I hope you're interested, and more importantly, I hope you're ready for our amazing, focused, brilliantly inspiring guest. I'm going to say, I think I've had a few fashion people here, but this particular young lady, Manita Plahe, has actually turned round and I think has kind of grabbed my heart a little bit because of the fact that she's such a humble energy in her space, who has created such beautiful, beautiful pieces of work, and most importantly, really, truly has a customer at the center of her heart. I'm going to introduce her just in a moment, but just before anybody else, if you'd like to get involved, you know the drill. You know we're here on the Salam Radio. You know it's myself, Sukhi Wahiwala. If you're watching us on our YouTube live channel, or alternatively on our Facebook live channel, if you're searching for it now, please log in either to Facebook or YouTube, and we are live with a video as well. You'll be able to see Manita. Now, if you'd like to get involved and let's just speak to her, maybe don't forget she's been an entrepreneur who's completely started from scratch, and she's completely now in a really strong driving position, which is just humbling to see. If you'd like to get involved, if you'd like to send her a text or send me a text so I can repeat it out to her, it's 07745 278 978. You know the drill. Get involved, communicate, and help us help you further. Alternatively, if you'd like to ring into the office directly into the studios, you can on 01733 602 773. And for all of our friends around the world who tune into our Empower Hour show with myself, your host, Sukhi Wahiwala, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Without further ado, because I don't know about yourself, but I'm really, really itching to get introduced. Our guest today is Manita Blahe. She is the founder, designer, creative. She's the founder, designer, and creative of an amazingly powerful brand, which is picking up traction around the globe now, with people. She's got clients all the way from Australia, Africa's, America, North America, and obviously UK as well. Her brand is called Pretty Heritage. Just for your reference, you can just Google her, find her, hit her up, as they say in this modern journey of life. Hit her up. I got told that by my child. She was 11 years old. How did she know? How didn't I know is what I want to know. We're going to be introducing her, Manita Blahe. She is the founder of Pretty Heritage Clothing, designer clothing. And I'm going to introduce her very, very quickly. But before she comes live and says hello, how does a person stay so humble and so talented? This is what we're going to dig into today. And we're going to have a nice open conversation with her. So welcome, 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 Manita.
Thank you, Sukhi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. I hope that's okay there. Can you hear us all, everybody? Yes, I can hear us. Perfect. Well, do you know, this is becoming very fast. It's becoming such an inspiring, empowering journey with every single guest that we have. And to be honest with yourself, Manita, you're my younger sister. You're a sister-in-law of mine, because Chaz Fly, if you don't know, is Manita's husband, and he is a very well respected. And soon I will have him on the show when he gets an agenda adjustment. But tonight it's about you, Manita.
It sure is.
Yeah. And I know you were a little bit nervous, but guess what? Look at everybody. They're all good. They're nice people.
Yeah, I know.
They really want to hear you. So relax.
It's all good in the hood.
All good in the hood. Right. So the Empower Hour show, our focus, no matter what happened this evening, is just for you to be yourself in a relaxed mode, and only your friends are tuned in, and people who really, really get empowered by this. Now, I'm going to hit shout out to little good friends, Kizza, who's a very, very close friend of mine, who Adam's Taxis, and a number of other individuals out there who constantly always listen to our radio show. And for them, a big shout out to all the taxi drivers who always have us on there. So well done, and thank you from Sukhi Wahiwala, your brother and friend. Manita, a question to you. This time disappears like that, I'll tell you that now.
Okay.
But you've had the most beautiful journey. But you're kind of like, from my memory, you're born in London area, is that correct?
Yep, I was born in Hillingdon, West London. Mm-hmm. That's where I grew up. It's where I went to school. It's where all my friends are, and it's home. It's home.
It's just you, right?
Yep.
Wonderful. So, as a child, are you an only child, or one of many, or
I'm an elder sister to a younger brother, and it's just
answer.
to us.
That's a great answer, actually. An older sister to a younger brother. question I'm going to say to yourself, and we'll touch base on your journey a little bit as well, but what was it like being a child? I mean, you're the founder of this amazing brand, and trust me, it's just so inspiring to have you here at the show today.
Thank you. It's been, I think my character has grown from being the older sister. I think looking after the family, always having to, make sure everyone's on the right path. Just kind of understanding the dynamics of a family as well. Truly, and the environment has always been like the center of my heart. Yes. And I think over the years I've learnt that from coming from a ethnic background and from the hard grafting that my parents have done, and and I've kind of adopted that myself within my personality, I suppose.
Could it be just as simple as to say, and I mean no simplicity, no disrespect by this, but it's like being mini mum, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like having that second.
But I like being mini mum.
Yeah, well, good for you. Good for you. Because this is so important for the next generation that listen to us. I mean, I applaud people who do take their time out to listen to this show, whether it's live or whether it's on the replays. Please do share it with people who love. If you'd like to get in touch, don't forget to, get in touch with us via WhatsApp and 07745 278 978 and just ask a few questions, because in this, what I've been finding is that a lot of young ladies are kind of like not sure whether the business can be mixed with being kind of like, in essence, you could say, kind of a home mum as well, in that flow. And I appreciate that obviously you're still quite young and you haven't really thought about those sort of things yet, but you said mini mum a moment ago, yes? And it came across very warm and proud.
Yeah. And I think having those values, carrying those through, especially into business and throughout life, I think that kind of gives you a really hard, great foundation to be able to, follow those values through and make life a little bit easier for yourself in terms of, being a member of the family who's able to kind of, really look after people around you, and that kind of carries through to the kind of business that I'm doing and looking after my clientele. It's kind of being mini mum at home and adopting that into my clientele base too.
I remember you saying when we met once about 3 years ago, that's when you took a real big turn. But I know you've been on this journey for over 10 years now, haven't you?
Indeed.
But we mentioned that how caring for, let's say, a loved one at home, and how you've translated that caring into a loved one, in essence, a customer of yours. So these young ladies, who and soon to be gentlemen now as well, because I think you're moving into new diversity. But the people who turn up at your studio in, if I'm correct, is it in?
It's on the Bath Road in Hounslow.
Bath Road, right? So it's very easy to get to. But you've taken it to another journey. But we'll talk about that in the second half a little bit, if that's okay. But in essence, how you've converted that love and attention into connecting heart-centered with your clients. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. And for me, it's always been attention to detail as well. I think, if you're able to carry those kind of values through, not just at home, but for your business, I think my passion has to kind of come through my values, and it comes through my designs as well. So for me, it's really, really important to, carry that through in every kind of possible way.
So you can really connect with the person in front of you, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Make it a personal journey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anyone that walks through the door, they're literally a friend.
Oh, wow. Now, I'm telling you now, from the other side of being a brother to yourself, I've definitely felt that sort of care and attention as well in everything you say, including in being here, ensuring you're on time and all those sort of fun things. So just a conversation. We'll talk much more about the business, Pretty Heritage, a bit later. But what was life like when you grew up? I mean, you've got such a beautifully brilliant business now that you've created and you should be super proud of. And all the ladies and the gents and the people who are looking to start their businesses, which are thinking, who are in this, but who listen to our section here on every Tuesday evening between 7 and 8, the Empower Hour, must be that they are going to be connected with you in a moment. But it must be hard for them to start. So did you have any of those sort of like early teething challenges at all?
Yes, of course. I mean, growing up being an Asian girl in a household where, I was brought up with predominantly guys, I wasn't too sure which direction to take in life. if I'm honest. But there were challenges, as they naturally are with families, and those challenges I've had to face as a young child, seeing my parents struggle. My dad had his own businesses, and he was successful with them, and then
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Maghrib Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 19...
My apologies for that. I think there was a slight technical error. Please, we're continuing. Yes, carry on.
So, just growing up, I felt that having the presence of being the only girl in the family, there was a lot of pressure on, which direction do I take? And my dad had these businesses that he was successful with, and unfortunately, due to whatever reasons, became unsuccessful as well. So I always saw that hard work and that grafting from my dad. And usually for a girl, I believe in our communities, we're quite well looked after and, told not to maybe, don't do these kind of crazy jobs, or, focus on maybe becoming a lawyer or a solicitor, or
so you had that kind of a push as well?
Yes, I did, but for myself, because that's the kind of environment that I was seeing around me, and I felt that is what I had to be.
Now, with all the listeners, just to double check on something, just to clear and clarify yourself as well, because the Empower is not about ostracization in any way.
No.
Because it's a very, very commendable scenario to be a solicitor, a lawyer, a doctor. And it's a wonderful, wonderfully professional profession as well, because we have plenty of those individuals who come through on the show as well, on the Empower Hour. But my vision here is just to share that it's probably every individual has their own journey. That's what we're trying to say, really, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
I had my own vision. I knew deep inside, I maybe wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to head, but I knew it was a creative line. But I was too maybe worried or scared, or
at that time?
At that time, yeah, that whether this is the right steps for me, because everybody else in my family are not doing what I really want to do, which is the creative side of things. I was moving furniture around. I wanted to, I was decorating the house at a very young age.
So hang on a second. This is touched there. So first things first, you didn't get much. It was basically not about having a struggle, but actually an internal tussle. This is very important for our listeners to understand that it's sometimes isn't it correct to say that's just ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. The battle wasn't between my parents and me. It was within myself.
They would have supported you anyway.
They supported me from day one to do whatever I wanted to do. The battle was between myself and my mind. It was either my head or it was my heart, and I didn't know which one to go with. And I find youngsters are kind of maybe in that pressure nowadays, where you're trying to maybe take the right direction, where you feel this may be what's going to fulfill my future and be more secure, or do I take a risk? And for me, I've always been a risk taker. I've always seen that happen with my dad. He's always taken risks, and I wanted to delve into that. But was always really worried to do that. But yeah, as eventually growing up as a girl in a house full of guys, I think I got that bravery from them. And
so you plucked up the courage in essence, really,
absolutely.
and said, well, no, if you can do it, I can. Kind of thing, yeah?
Absolutely.
So just to touch back on something, just 1 second before we continue that journey. So it's a lovely conversation there. But you said that you kind of like designing or creative elements of yourself never really hid behind anything. Because you used to do the house design and used to paint things and put furniture in the right places. So talk a bit about this, please.
So from what I can remember, it would have been anything from, my mum would go to work and I'd run into her room and rummage through her wardrobes and just see what kind of saris or new shoes she's bought. And then I'd suddenly put that down. I'd be like, okay, I'm a bit bored of the living room looking like this. Let me just shove that sofa over this way, move the table here, and maybe we should get some flowers and put those over there. So I was constantly...
What sort of age is this then?
Before I was 10 years old.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I understand the clothes wearing.
Yeah.
I think I've worn my dad's tie and shirt when I was about 8 or 9 years old as well. But actually rummaging and moving stuff around.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was probably not even 15 when I first put the coving up in the living room.
Wow. Wow. So actually, actually not just taking what we call superfluous movements and stuff and moving furniture around, you're actually decorating.
I was actually decorating and putting wallpaper up. I was really experimenting with my creativity. It was just within, I was dancing, I was play acting, I was really trying to experiment with what was actually on fire inside. And that would always happen when nobody was around, because I wasn't sure, am I going to be told off for this? Or is this going to be the right way forward? And is this going to worry my parents? Because I don't want to worry them.
Yeah, I fully understand that, because it's actually nothing to do with you not being, from my understanding, of not being caring or not being responsible, but there was something inside of you that just kept bubbling away, right? Yeah. So, by the way, I'm going to ask a question. Did you get told off when Mum came home or Dad came home, the TV was completely in the opposite corner? Or
I always like to I like to take a risk, but I do like to play it safe, so I test the waters. And testing the waters was one Christmas, being like in a multicultural city, we celebrate Christmas, and
for the togetherness, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so my brother and I would literally create plays, like Christmas plays, or it might be have a bit of Bollywood in there, or
how wonderful is that? Yeah.
So, and our parents thoroughly enjoyed those plays that we used to, do in the living room with them. And that kind of gave me the courage to be able to, feed them a bit more with my creativity. So it might have been a cooked breakfast in bed and, me doing a really nice presentation on the plate for them. And I kind of noticed that actually, even though my dad was a baker and he's quite creative himself, they really adopted the idea of me, doing these fun things that kind of put a smile on everyone's faces, and it was quite unusual because nobody else was doing it.
Kind of pushing the boat out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was just times when, my dad used to put a Bollywood movie on, and, I'll get Mum's saris out and we'll start play acting. And, and I felt because they would laugh and join in, it kind of, I think that whole worry and worryingness just kind of faded away. And, and I guess as I grew up and I got into my teen years, I had a bit of, I was a bit of a tomboy, so I had a lot of courage in me by this point. And anything that my mum would say, don't do that, boys do that, don't play football with the boys, because I used to play football a lot, and girls don't do that kind of thing, or sit properly with your legs crossed, things like that. And
so the inner self came punching out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just said, well, no, I want to be doing this, I want to be doing that, and they've always supported that. And becoming a teenager, at that point, I was fully aware of my creativity, and my parents were too. Just went into college, learning, getting into my A levels and learning about sociology and English language, but soon realised that these weren't actually the subjects I wanted to kind of spend my time with. I'd come home, they were fulfilling to a certain degree, but they weren't quite where my talent lied. I used to find myself just sketching away or doodling away on the corner of my pages with like dresses.
Don't tell me that was in the lesson, right?
It was in the lesson. I'm not gonna
So we're not sending out a message here, children, if anybody's listening. We're not saying a message, go and stand in your sociology or English lesson drawing doodles.
No.
But she did.
But I did. And I think for me, that was just expressing that where my mind was really at. And I think that was my heart speaking more over my head. And, I'd go to the art department during breaks just to see what was up on the walls and what people were doing. And, that basically led to me having a conversation with my parents about where I wanted to actually go with my life. And
it's a very lucky position to be in.
Yeah.
and it's also very warm. I'm going to touch on that second, the discussion you had with your parents. But the sheer fact that you really did have a genuine pull towards art that basically took you back towards the arts, the arts. Now, you'll be very, very, should I say, it'll be quite painful to hear this, but I think the current curriculum is changing quite a lot. And I hear this firsthand from a very good friend of mine called Ranjit Sanghu. And he's the head of the Stanground College in the arts department. And he said very specifically that there's becoming strong, you could say, a void being created around the arts, and it's being kind of homogenized or connected together with the other humanities, as to call it, and it's actually becoming a blended blended department. So actually, a lot of individuals aren't necessarily being pushed towards the arts as a whole.
Yep.
And what's your view on that? What do you think?
I mean, my view, I can only speak from my experience and, you know, what I know. I'm unfortunately, you know, I'm not so in touch with the schools. I know what exactly is going on at the moment in those terms. However, I do feel that maybe we are, as children, we are maybe pushed towards where we feel academically life might support you better in terms of jobs and careers. However, I do feel that the creative side has become very popular, you know, in terms of the, you know, people being encouraged to take on, you know, creativity courses or
to express themselves.
Absolutely. And so for me, I'm finding a lot of the parents are pushing their children to become creative now. I think especially when we're in the social media world nowadays, and you know people are becoming creatives through YouTube or
majorly.
Absolutely. You know, and even, you know, young entrepreneurs, I think we're in a day and age where, you know, they're left, right and centre. This is kind of the new way forward, and that involves a lot of creativity. So from that kind of perspective, I feel, you know, it's really out there, and kids have got the opportunity and they're just exposed to so much more. Unfortunately, in our age, we didn't really have the internet at the time. It was all about, absolutely, is what I could find in the library or what was in school, and you know, and be creative with that. So I'm definitely seeing a huge change on that side of things.
Just to talk, before we go back to the discussion you had with your parents and support you got from them, but there's something that sits in my mind. It's constantly triggering that creativity is something that's expressed, but like a glass of water, you know, the water itself is not. You can't drink it without some kind of I could say a meniscus or some kind of, no, the meniscus is on the top, so some kind of an unporous, you know, non-porous surface that holds the water in. So we would call that within the Synegus method, the trainings that we've done, and I think you were a part of our training. We'll talk about that in the afternoon, in the second half, sorry. But we require parameters that serve us, that allow us to be creative within. Is that fair? So the question arises that from knowing you for the last 3 years pretty well, you have a creative element, but you're really quite blessed with this amazing structure of keeping things orderly as well. Yeah. So how important is that in your view? Because creativity can be taken and blown out completely out of the way. You know, because it can be completely do what I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, as often as I want, to actually having a structure and a place or a process to follow. Do you find that that's equally as important?
Oh, absolutely. I think having a vision and understanding a direction that you're heading towards is vital. Otherwise, you can find yourself being maybe a bit scatty. You're not, you know, you take one direction and go the other. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. When I was younger, I was expressing those, you know, whether it be decorating the house, or one minute it will be fashion, next minute it will be food. So that was a point where I wasn't too sure, you know, where I was. It was only once I started focusing on you know, my sketches, or started getting the clues and the ideas, that it started to form a direction and a vision towards where I was heading. And for me, it was garments and textiles and, you know, shapes and how something looked on someone, and styling. You know, I'd walk down the street and see someone, that would look better with that, or whatever. And I think what happens is once you start creating that vision and you start understanding which direction you want to go in, it's highly important to be able to categorize and look at life in the way where you want to know, okay, if I want to head to this direction, what kind of elements and actions do I need to put in position to achieve these goals? And for me, obviously we'll talk about the business after, I've had to be able to place that with everything from a daily ritual of, you know, keeping a structure in life and knowing what my daily outcome is going to be, to running a business, I apply that kind of structure to a business as well as my everyday life as well.
Do you know what a really powerful answer there? And I don't know whether anybody understood that, but it's about that practicality and steps that you're putting there to allow the creative to flourish, right?
Yeah,
and this is beautiful to hear, because I find so many young children today, they're missing that structure element as well. But without disciplining too early, they want to basically trial and error and practice, but they also need to put some kind of framework in place. And that process, getting a goal, getting focused on where they're going to go. I can't believe how fast the time is going through, Manita. We are at 18 seconds before we have our first break. But if anybody else is listening, this is Manita Plahe. She's the founder of Pretty Heritage. Trust me, please tune in again. We're coming back in with the Empower Hour with my host, myself, on Salam Radio, and it's Sukhi Wahiwala. So in another 4 or 5 seconds, in 4 minutes at 7:30 again.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Here at Children of Adam, we believe water wells and hand pumps are a significant step to empowering people to live their best life. A hand pump donation is an excellent form of sadaqah jariyah for loved ones, including those who have passed away. Sa'd ibn Ubadah reported, he said, "O Messenger of Allah, the mother of Sa'd has died, so what is the best charity I may give on her behalf?" The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Water." Sa'd dug a well and said, "This is for the mother of Sa'd." A water pump is £150. Please donate by visiting childrenofadam.net or call us on 0300 321 0032.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Feel like some great tasting chicken tonight? Great meal deals, wraps, burgers and sides. We've got it all at Chicken Palace. Call and collect at 302 Lincoln Road on 01733 702 447 or 8 Park Road on 01733 343750. Chicken Palace, open 11 a.m. till late.
दोस्ता की परेशान है
जरा कर है ना सारा सौदा मुक्या वा मुल्का विच पैसे भेजने
हूं नहीं मार फूड वाले की फोन खड़का ते फ्री लोकल डिलीवरी कार मंगवा
आलाता उठा क्या स्पेशल आ
उना की लबाई हाइजीन च ग्रेड 5 चीजें चंगियां म्यारी ते सस्तियां ते नाले ऑफर ही ऑफर
और क्या
ताजा गोश्त ताजी सब्जियां ते फ्रूट आटा चावल दाना मसाले ते जूस सारे बिल जमा करने गैस ते इलेक्ट्रिक ने टॉप अप भी करने पाकिस्तान पैसे बिल्कुल फ्री भेजने मतलब के एक चिड़ी ने दूध छड़ी तो हर शय लबनी
Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Telephone 01733 687374.
عن أبي مالك الحارث بن عاصم الأشعري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الطهور شطر الإيمان والحمد لله تملأ الميزان وسبحان الله والحمد لله تملأان أو تملأ ما بين السماء والأرض والصلاة نور والصدقة برهان والصبر ضياء والقرآن حجة لك أو عليك كل الناس يغدو فبائع نفسه فمعتقها أو موبقها
Welcome back, team. This is Empower Hour with your host this evening, Sukhi Wahiwala, as always. And we have an amazing treat for yourself. You know, we have Manita Plahe, the founder of the Pretty Heritage brand of designer clothes. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about her designer company in a moment, but we had a brilliant topic that we've just had a few touch bases with as well, where individuals have been talking specifically. Just before the break, we were talking about having structure within your creativity. So, you know, please, if you've missed the start of this particular interview, please rewind to the start and watch it from the start. We've got now another 26 minutes, and this goes so quick, doesn't it, Manita?
It certainly does.
Yeah, well, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, that went super fast.
Have you been enjoying yourself there?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Good, because we've been enjoying what you're saying. But you said something just a second, just before the break, and it just turned up on us that quickly, doesn't it? And I hope you're enjoying this across the globe as well. We spoke about creativity. We spoke about how important it is for a person's evolutionary personality for them to be creative, but also to be what we classify as self-aware. Yeah, in that process of the inner confidence of what they want to do. You went from your lessons, and you still found yourself in the art department. And we also touched on how important it is to have some kind of creative elements in your life. From the age of 10, you were redoing things, and 15, you were doing the architrave, if I remember rightly. By the way, you can come around my house anytime and sort out architrave out.
I'd be happy to.
But I want to take it a different direction, because you touched something that's really important, because we've found that a lot of our listeners are quite young, or if not, then it's the parents of quite young children, teenagers and 20-year-olds. This show has become, because I meet so many of individuals, they come up to me in the street, and it's such a warming environment, because obviously the Wahiwala name is synonymous with Peterborough. What we found is that they're always asking how important it is to have some kind of form of structure within business as well, but the creativity as well. So can you just touch a little bit on that and just say, what's your view on how important creativity in synchronicity or synergizing it with actual creativeness? Structure,
yeah. Highly important. I think we can, as creatives, or creativity falls under anything. It could be creative in art, it could be creative in finance, creative in, whichever kind of field you're in. I think it's very important to be able to laser focus on the goal, the ambition, the career, whatever that might be. For me, I've always had structure. I've needed structure. And as you know, Sukhi,
yes.
I'm definitely a C.
A C, which, classified in the DISC structure as compliant.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That means an orderly individual who sees process and structure and strategy. But we're talking about creativity. So how did that happen, or how does that work within yourself?
Yeah, so the creativity for me, it's there, but in terms of getting the structure around that is to be able to really understand the direction that I'm taking, whether that's, whether that's in a collection, whether that's in an overall vision of, the business, or whether it's in my daily life. Yes. Having structure, to be able to find a structure and to be able to follow it, I think gives me the clarity and vision and, some sort of, route to the end.
With the end in mind.
With the end in mind, yeah. So, there's a goal, and then there's the objectives, and how am I going to carry those objectives through? So having those in place kind of gives me that laser focus, whether that's learning from the mistakes and then finding a new structure, and some of these learnings have come from obviously not just from education, but also from having great mentors as yourself.
Thank you.
So and I think it's really important to get that kind of help as well. So the structure doesn't necessarily have to come within from yourself. I think you need to look around.
You can bring it in.
Yeah, bring it in from your professionals, people that are already out there doing it, looking at mentors, and for me,
So does that mean, sorry to disturb you there, but does that mean that sometimes it looks different to what it truly is?
Absolutely.
Because there's influencers out there who are, I know you're working with some really senior brands now, like everyone's heard of Jay Shetty, and you're working with his wife, wife's name's?
Yeah, Radhi Devlukia Shetty. Yeah,
Radhi
Devlukia.
Devlukia.
Yeah.
So Radhi Devlukia, and she's actually quite an influencer across the globe.
Yeah.
I'm quite certain that you'll probably tag her into this recording, and she'll probably send it over there as well.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to get through to yourself is that takes effort, it takes focus, it takes a goal, it takes clarity, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You see, I get quite a lot of texts from children which are mid-aged and that kind of thing, and they want to get into business, or they meet me somewhere and they say, "Uncle, I want to really get into business." And it's warming for myself because I have a 23-year-old daughter myself, soon to be, and they'll ask things like, "How do I get started in business? Where can I raise the capital from?" So you've been through all of these processes, but now, I've known you long enough now to understand that you have this immense amount of discipline and love for your art, for your work, for your focus, what you're trying to achieve. Did some of that actual natural compliancy, that conscientiousness, does it actually really assist you in becoming even more creative by listening properly to your clients? Because I could be standing there, or if I was one of your clients, and I could give you some stuff that's really important to me, but I hear that, I feel from by sitting in front of you, and when we've studied together, thank you for mentioning my name as a mentor, you would take copious notes and good detailed notes. So that tells me you're listening. Has that listening really helped? Because sometimes you can get lost within creativity and do something that you want to do as opposed to what the client actually truly wants.
Yeah, no, I think listening is very important. Whether that's, like I said, creativity is so, widely spoken about, but in particular for the field of work that I'm in, I can't go into a studio and just creatively design whatever I want. I have to understand my market. I have to understand who's buying, what are they doing, where do they live, what kind of things are they looking for,
what are their needs, what do they like.
Yeah, so a real client profile has to be defined, and that is the structure to be able to then provide the product that needs to be out there for my clientele. But even a clientele that comes in who's having a bespoke piece made, it's all about me listening. So it's about zipping them out and actually asking the right questions. What is she looking for? What is it that she feels comfortable in? So all of the questions are already sort of pre-prepared in my mind. I also bounce off of someone's personality and try to understand them as an individual. And having placed all those that criteria into one bowl, that kind of then gives me the leeway and the freedom to be able to create for that particular person.
So love it. So you've got the detail, you've got the design and the visual of what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely.
There. So can I just to touch base on that? Do you find that you've gone through some psychometric training as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that it was with myself. I had the good fortune of being, able to teach such a focused student like yourself. So does that kind of psychometric understanding, or the ability to listen and to framework it properly, to put it into the right psychometric, that means the type of person profile, help in situations like this?
Yeah, absolutely. It does. I think, being able to understand the type of personality, for example, that you are, and I know the kind of personality I am. I need a lot of organisation within my work. I need to be able to really have a focused schedule. With all of those elements in mind, it kind of really makes life a little bit more, not a little, a hell of a lot easier. To be able to, achieve the goals and ambitions. And that's not just through a daily schedule. It's also through, like I said, if I'm working with a client, or if I'm working on a collection requires a lot of that. I think a lot of that has helped.
Well done. And just to move further forward with your clients, you've dressed and draped some quite strong influences around the planet as well. And we just mentioned somebody a moment ago as well. How is it that they found you? What have you done? Because obviously there's pieces, I remember from my memory that you've dressed individuals who've gone to very, very focused out evenings and stuff of that nature, because you're designer, you're trademark, you're known for elegance and also what we call evening wear. Is that correct?
Yep.
And wedding, bridal wear as well.
Yep, so bridal and non-bridal. So yeah, I mean, well, there's quite a few questions there.
Let's just take to what is if you were to describe Pretty Heritage.
Yep.
Well, how would you describe it in your own words?
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty Heritage is definitely focused for the Western Asian girl. And I don't want to categorize a brand as being just for Asians. It's really for a multiple layers identity within a person. I think we've all had different experiences in life. We've had different backgrounds, different cultural experiences. And it's really to celebrate those identities. And I like to show that through my work. So using contemporary silhouettes with the influence of maybe Asian embroideries or vice versa. So,
silhouettes, you mean, so you're talking to a male and somebody who's not a designer. So I'm just going to share this for the listeners, because I'm sure there's plenty of us guys sitting there thinking, yeah. Okay, so silhouettes, do I understand it correctly by saying it's the drape and the shape that you're coming
The shape of a dress.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, I feel really clever now.
So, yeah, well done, Sukhi. You're a little fashionista, really.
Thank you. If you're watching, I'm just tapping myself on the back there. I feel so cool at this precise minute.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the visual and the drape, and then you're also then saying with embroidery, and which is also known as kadai, and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
And I know that you know other people in the industry as well. So you have an extensive team, I believe, in India who actually works on the kadai meaning the embroidery. With yourself. How do you manage this?
With DFT, daily focus time.
Oh, I love this. This is music to my ears. DFT is something I talk about on TED. So please, if you're looking up for it later, but please carry on.
Yeah, so daily focus time. I am literally up at the crack of dawn. 5 o'clock, I am up. I am liaising with the factories. Checking out where all my orders are, what's going on, all the design development work that they're dealing with. As you will know, India is ahead in time for us. So for me, it's vital to catch them the minute they're in that door. It's literally to get the most out of them.
Wow. What a commitment. It's lovely to hear.
Yeah, and hardly no sleep.
Oh,
So no, but it's great. I mean, I get up because I enjoy doing it. So from 5 to 9, I'm focused on India. I then have a couple of hours to myself where, I may be focusing on meditation to recenter myself, get myself going, because I've just woken up and I've gone straight into work. Usually the right way, for me, would be to kind of flip that and start off with the meditation and maybe a bit of yoga and breakfast and a bit of time to myself before I get into that. But unfortunately it just works out that I have to kind of commit as soon as I'm awake, and then from that point, once I've had breakfast or I've had self time, I then focus on getting to the studio, and at which point I have a couple of days where I just focus on admin or designs and the collection and marketing, and so I have that all kind of fixed on my first couple of days in the week.
Amazing. This is just music to our ears. Thank you for being so detailed in your explanation for the next generation, so they can hear and see that you're not holding anything back. Wonderful. So you've got a separate day for each kind of task very clearly, but you've also got a designated time for your international focus. Your manufacturing team, bringing the product over here. This is just amazing. I think maybe people don't quite realize that when you're running a collection like Pretty Heritage, that there's a sincere amount of dedication that goes beyond just the design work. It's not just like, hey, let me throw a few designs up there and somebody in India will make it up for you and send it back.
I wish it was like as easy as that.
Please tell us some of the mishaps maybe you've had, or should I say challenges, maybe some stretches you've had within your character, maybe a piece that you can remember going, oh my God, this shouldn't have been like this.
Yeah, in all honesty, I will put my hands up and say, actually, I've never had that problem.
Amazing.
Not so much.
I think that's probably because that's testament, with all respect, the listeners don't know you, and I've had the good fortune of knowing you, is testament to your attention to detail and the focus that you really give every one of your clients. So
absolutely.
On behalf of all of your customers, well done.
Thank you. So that's exactly what it is. For me, I like to do all my design packs. Design packs are basically, it's a sketch, which most of people that I do go out and do a bespoke shop will find that, you may have a sketch done with a bit of detailing written on the side of what fabric is, embroidery is, etc. Because of the background I've come from a design background, so I've learned to do technical drawings. I've learned how to technically explain a design in order for me to be able to present it to anyone. Somebody who doesn't even understand fashion could read the design pack and understand what's required and visualize it.
Truly inspiring. So just to touch on that second, we've got the design pack. You've had an academic growth in that scenario. Who have you worked for? Are you allowed to say, or will you have to shoot me? No,
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, please. You're totally welcome.
So I graduated and worked for a couple of fashion houses. I was fortunate enough to work for Fake London, which was a design house, as a design. Not really an intern, but just starting off. It was unpaid at the time, but it was just getting the experience.
That's called dedication.
Absolutely. So, and that led into working for Burberry as an assistant designer. Yeah. So, the experiences were absolutely phenomenal to be working straight into design houses. It doesn't come around easy. I had the blessings of knowing the right people and pulling you into the jobs, and for that I've always been quite grateful. However, even though these were kind of jobs where most people would admire to be in and dream to get into these kind of companies,
positions,
I actually found that this wasn't where I wanted to be. It was, when you're working for larger corporations, you're very much pigeonholed into becoming a specific design role, and that is all you do. You only design t-shirts, and you're going to design millions of different t-shirts, or you're in wovens, or you will do denim, or you will do knitwear, or you will do. And for me, I was always creative, and I wanted to be creative as uniquely as possible each time.
In every genre, I assume, yes? Every vertical.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that basically led me to go and work for a supplier base. In between that, I went and traveled the world as well.
That's genius. Absolute genius, because you get to see cultures, you see design work. And if your eye is focused on those sort of elements, you're going to pick it up and enhance it and ingest it, in essence, aren't you?
No, absolutely. So while I came out of the design houses and I was, thinking of going into supply base, I went traveling around the world, and I was experiencing different cultures, absolutely admiring, the architectures, the arts, and, the fashion, and just culture in itself, which was so inspiring. And that is when the business started to ignite within me, where I started feeling like I needed to mix and match myself, my personal style with what I was seeing and what was becoming my identity as an individual.
Your expression.
Yeah. So I did the traveling and then went over to work for a supply base. I was fortunate enough to get a job out in the Middle East, in Kuwait. I was working for a fashion brand out there, and that was for a retail fashion brand.
I didn't know that. That's such a great journey.
Yeah. So I literally went from London straight into the Middle East, and my parents were totally supportive. Some people thought I was mad, but I thought, there's nothing to really lose. Let's just go there. If it doesn't work out, we'll just come back home. But I had a vision in mind, and my vision was always that I wanted to create my own brand. And at this point, that seed had developed from the traveling. So for me, my focus became to learn as much as I can throughout the businesses, and it meant that going into supply base, I would actually have exposure to not be pigeonholed, but to be able to work in various departments, and those will be exposed to me, and so I'd be learning
firsthand.
Absolutely.
As exactly what you're evolving yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't believe how fast the time is. We've only got 6 minutes left.
I'll speed it up.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Please continue. I mean, this is just an absolute blessing because it tells me and it shows me that you've got an understanding of what we classify Western from being a Brit-born Asian, Indian Asian, and then across from the India elements of actually the Indian design work and the karigari, the actual really intricacies of design. But actually you've got what you call also a development of modesty in there as well, because that's Middle Eastern style as well.
Yep.
Has some of this actually developed into maybe ranges? Because you do dress wedding and non-wedding, or bridal and non-bridal. I just learnt that, by the way. So, you know, what sort of stuff, if I was to say to yourself that somebody's listening tonight and they're thinking, I wouldn't mind something from Pretty Heritage, you know, what's the start point of where your ranges start from? Because I know you also have ready-mades in your studio, and then you also do the couture, sort of like direct bespoke work. Please.
Yeah, so absolutely. So with all the past experience, you know, I decided that I didn't decide, it just happened. There was a niche in the market, that there wasn't anything out there for someone like myself who wanted to have a mix of the contemporary Western styling mixed in with the Asian. So with the Pretty Heritage brand, you'll definitely find, you know, modest designs that have, you know, a mix of what we're used to wearing here in terms of shapes in your everyday attire, but dressing that up more with the kind of Indian heritage of it might be a print, it might be the embroidery. So you will find we have really lovely silhouettes, meaning shapes of fluid skirts. You know, we may have kind of nice fitted blouses with embroidery on those as well. But the designs are really focused on, you know, what we kind of wear maybe on a daily basis, what we're used to. So it's not your traditional styling, it's not your traditional shapes. It's very kind of modern and contemporary. For me, it came about before the brand started, I used to go to Topshop or wherever. I'd pick out a top, and then I'd go down to Monsoon maybe and pick up like a shimmery skirt and start pairing things together.
Got it. The creative element, yes.
Yeah. So with Pretty Heritage, it's a very similar thing. What we do now is we just stylize in a very Western styling, but there is a hint of the heritage in there without it being overpowering with too much bling and too much embroidery. So it's very kind of soft and easy to wear.
That's what I was going to say. So it was going to be, so it's much more comfortable, because all I get from my beautiful 3 daughters and my wife and my sisters, because I have 6 sisters as well, with cross gratitude, is how uncomfortable sometimes these suits really are.
Yeah, I mean, I have clients.
Indian suits, I'm talking.
No, absolutely, I get it. You know, my clients are always, oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be really heavy, but it's so light to wear, and you know, oh, this is really comfortable. I could wear this all day long, and they don't have that worry of, you know, everything being over the top. There's a fine balance between chic, and it's very kind of soft and, you know, easy to wear, as I mentioned earlier, and then we stylize it with you know, the other brands that are in-house, with the jewelry and the bags and the shoes, etc. So for us, I like to provide that full service of giving that finished look.
So in essence, Pretty Heritage, if I was to encapsulate this in my own thoughts here, it's literally a bespoke, once-off, you know, it's like a unique experience that you personally handle. I know you've got a team, and I know you've got people there, but you've got so much love for the art, for the development of your brand, that you're actually literally hand-holding somebody. And from my assumptions of understanding, is that you're listening to them and drawing out the best of them. So if anybody listening is slightly confused at what they like to wear, what they don't like to wear, I think, baby, it's kind of like a bit of a coaching session with you, because you're actually literally coaxing out this amazing. And I know the nature you are. You've got this beautiful resonance in there. So if anybody wanted to get hold of you as a particular within Pretty Heritage, how could they get hold of you?
So you can jump onto our website, which is www.prettyheritage.com. That's
Could you spell that?
Yeah, that's PRETTY heritage HERITAGE .com.
So prettyheritage.com, no spaces, nothing, just one word. Yeah,
just one word.
And what if you want to see some of the designs? I mean, is there something like I'm really, really being cool at the moment. Trust me, listeners, you know me. You can see me. I'm not Mr. Cool. But how can they hit you up on Insta?
So Instagram, on the gram, it's Pretty Heritage.
I've learned a new
on
one
the gram.
On the gram.
So the gram is Pretty Heritage London. And that you'll find lots of our current affairs going on in there. A lot of the cultural base of the brand as well.
And
on
how,
our
just because we literally have seconds,
yep.
How could we get hold of you personally if they wanted just to have a little chat?
Yep. So you can. We have a link in both the our Instagram page and the website address, and you can either contact me by phone number, which is 079 505 44480, or you can just email on info@prettyheritage.co.uk.
Yeah, wow. Do you know what? I'm not sure if anybody can stand up for an hour. Just does you justice here, Monita. It's just been an absolute dream to have you on here, not only because you're a sister of mine, but because of where you've come from to where you are today. You know, people at the moment, I think there's a waiting list of people working with you. If anybody's understood and enjoyed today, please do comment, please share with other people. Good night. God bless. See you next Tuesday.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Peterborough just got a whole lot tastier. Five Lads Flame Grilled Peri Peri Chicken is now open. Bring your family and friends to Peterborough's first HMC meat selling restaurant. We are experts in grilled chicken, lamb chops and gourmet lamb and beef burgers. Our healthy options include fresh salads and fresh grilled vegetables. Fresh, clean and healthy grilled food with 4 different flavours. Lemon and herb, medium, hot and extra hot. 5-star hygiene rating. Eat in, order and collect or order for delivery on Deliveroo. Follow 5 Lads Peterborough on Facebook and Instagram 5 Lads. 15 Cowgate, Peterborough, PE1 1LZ. Call 01733 56 22 87. Open 7 days a week, 12 to 11 p.m.
There's a million choices available for dining out in Leeds.
But if you want something special, there's only one name to remember.
Mumtaz Leeds.
Relax in our newly refurbished Riverside restaurant.
Enjoy exquisite home cooking from our brand new menu. Upgrade to the Mumtaz Leeds experience.
And the price? Well, we're better value than ever before.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds, LS10 1PJ. Call 0113 242 4211.
Free car parking available.
कोई रत्तियां कमीज़ानी लमाना मारे मामा मिठिया में चीज़ानी।
मेरा नाम मुकद्दस है और कोट मेरा घर है और ये मेरे लिए किसी जन्नत से कम नहीं। हमारे भी कुछ ख्वाब हैं जिनकी ताबीर को हमें पाना है।